The number one thing I think is getting around the right people. You have to be around people that are doing what you want to do, and you're actually seeing it be done.
Yeah.
Because you can't believe it if you don't see it, right? You
Right.
have to see it. So you got to be around the right people for sure.
Thanks for joining in to the DealMachine Spotlight Thought Leader Series. And we've got Phillip Villegas with us today. And he's a KeyGlee franchise owner, wholesaling deals and flipping deals in Austin, Texas. And I actually ran into you. We knew of each other for a while, but I relocated to Austin earlier this year, and we were both in a WeWork.
Yes. I was walking out the front door. I remember I was talking to the door guy.
Yeah.
I had some new Jordans that I just got, and I was looking down at them and showing the guy. And then you just said, KeyGlee.
Yeah.
And I look up, and I'm like, David, what are you doing in Austin? Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
And that was a month ago. So look at us now. Yeah. You've got an awesome team. Really enjoyed taking you guys out for lunch. And now I'm ready to break down your story because you just went from playing underground poker games and living playing poker, which is amazing to me. You must be very skilled. And also, and you've had quite a path to wholesaling as well. How many years total have you been in real estate?
July of 2018.
Okay.
Is when I really started wholesaling. Yeah.
Can you break down the path that you took that started with poker and then ended up driving you towards real estate?
Yeah. So I worked for an insurance company, was selling insurance to a guy who sat across from me, said that he was dealing poker. And I said, hey, can I get into the game? Got me into the game. And then, so I was working for an insurance company, playing poker on the side, just doing things like that. And then I decided to leave the insurance company, open up my own, like I'm an insurance agency. Actually, I was playing poker for a living before that, actually. So I quit working for that insurance company, was gambling for a living. And yeah, then I met my wife, who was my girlfriend then, obviously. So I met my wife. And yeah, so I was running my own, like I'm an insurance company, and was sitting on a couch. It was like Thanksgiving week when you have that week off, not doing anything. I was sitting on a couch like, how do you make money online or easy money or something? And wholesaling came up. I was like, what is this? And then everybody knows who Sean Terry is. He's like the godfather of like wholesaling, right? So I didn't know that at the time. He had a $99 program, PayPal it, whatever, you can learn wholesaling. So I bought the program, paid $99. It was a lot of information, just have to take it on your own. Just a bunch of videos, a website, stuff like that. So I went through that, only paying $99. Like you don't really see the value really. You don't really take it like seriously. So I put out a few bandit signs, hoping I'd make a bunch of money, $1 million. So did that, didn't really take it seriously, wasn't very much money. Then I came across the Wholesaling Inc. podcast. Brett Daniels, cold calling. It's not going to cost you very much money to make money. So I was like, well, this has to be easy. But his program was a lot more. It was $5,000. So we were living paycheck to paycheck. You know, with my insurance company, you don't make a lot of money when you do insurance. So my wife had a 401k just sitting there. I said, hey, we've got this $5,000 there. Can I use that to do wholesaling here with Brett Daniels? And she actually believed in me. So she was like, yeah, sure. Let's do it. Let's give it a shot. So I joined the mentorship program. Went from like going through his videos. He does his own like one-on-ones too. Did that probably about a week and a half that I had to do all that. And then got my first contract. It was actually, I didn't know about DealMachine at the time, but I do remember I was writing down on a notepad. I was driving around, writing down addresses. My first deal came from leaving a voicemail for this lady. She calls me back and says, thank you so much for calling me. I didn't think anybody would be happy about me calling them about a house, right? Everybody hears all these horror stories of, oh, what are you doing calling me? Why? What do you want? Whatever. So I was like, so she was happy. She told me what she wanted for the house. It was actually less than what I was probably going to offer her because I was so new to it. But I got her under contract, and within 14 days, like I had it sold, made $35,000 on my first deal. So I think what really pushed me was spending $5,000. Like that's a big chunk of change to really make you put in the work and do it. So
right. And the part that I love about your story there is how chill and supportive your wife is. And I haven't met her. What's her name?
Wendy.
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 Wendy's very supportive. Good job, Wendy. You're an angel.
Yes, she is.
But you also believed in yourself too, because you didn't only have yourself to think about. And I love that you bet on yourself, that you were going to give this a second shot and you were going to try the same thing in a different way. And that ended up giving you a springboard to get to where you're at now.
For sure. Yeah. And I think it was the wholesaling group too. When I listened to that podcast, just the energy that they have out there. And Brent Daniels has the world's most energy, like balled into him.
So much energy.
A lot of energy. But he's such a go-giver too. Like he's just an awesome person. So I think you have to find the right mentor also that really helps you want to take that shot on yourself too.
He does have so much energy. He's super supportive. He's celebrating everyone else's wins. Love Brent Daniels.
Yes.
And now he owns Wholesaling Inc.
He does, yeah, which is awesome. Yeah, I love that. It's very cool.
So in your story, you're now a KeyGlee franchise owner. And I want you to talk about how did you go from doing that first deal with Brent Daniels' program, making $5,000, getting your money back. What happened between then and now?
Yeah, so after that first deal, which I made like $35,000 in, there was a Wholesaling Inc. event that they had like 2 months after I closed my first deal. So I went to that event. It was in Asheville, North Carolina.
I was there too.
That's where I actually met you for the first time. I learned about DealMachine. I think, were you guys brand new then too? Like
yeah, we were starting out in 2017. So we had been at it for a little bit, but still pretty new.
Yeah. So I actually had lunch with you and your partner, I think, at the time.
Yeah, Josh was there.
Yeah, Josh. Yeah. We had lunch, and one of the funny things that I remember is when we went to lunch at this barbecue place that they had there, the waiter told us not to order the chicken, and I ordered the chicken wings, and they were terrible. You guys made a comment about it, and we're like, they told you not to do that, and I still ordered the chicken wings. That's one thing I remember from that thing.
It's funny, I had no recollection of that until you just said it, and now I remember it.
So it was so funny. But so I took that money, invested in myself, went to this event, was around all these great people. So I've always been one to invest in myself. I've always believed that if you're around the right people, if you're around, 5 other millionaires, you're going to be number 6. There's no doubt about it. So it was just about getting around the right people.
Yeah,
so,
I believe that too.
Yeah. So it came to another event right before COVID, 2020. January, there was a Todd Toadback, Brent Daniels, Jameel, Pace, Batch, held this small event for people to get in this room. It cost like $15,000 to get in that room. It's only 20 or 30 of us in there. And it was one-on-one, learning the high-level wholesaling type stuff. I was like, I got to get there. I'd only done 6 or 7 deals, I think, before then. But I was kind of wholesaling part-time. So I was doing pretty well, I think. So I got in that room. Jameel mentions a KeyGlee franchise. And with Brent Daniels being my mentor, he's always been straight up with me, how he feels about people. He's like been around the block, so he knows the right people. So I said, hey man, there's this KeyGlee franchise that Jameel's talking about. What do you think? He looked me down the eyes and said, it's a no-brainer. They've got the buyers, like Jameel's a great guy. I think that's a really good thing to do. So I applied. You had to actually apply. Sent an email. Jameel called me, interviewed me, said, man, you'd be a great fit for this KeyGlee franchise. So I was one of the first 5 KeyGlee franchises here. I have actually Austin and the San Antonio market.
Cool.
For my franchise. And I've partnered with another franchise that's in the Waco market. So we go from Waco all the way down to San Antonio.
Yeah, there's a lot of properties that you guys can do.
Yes.
A lot of deals. That's great. So yeah, you really believe in mentorship, and your mentor that never led you astray before said it was a great idea, and so you pulled the trigger, and now you guys are doing about 5 deals a month, right?
Yeah, on average 5 deals a month with a small team. We started off with just like me, my business partner, and then and just one other employee. But now I've got 2 act people and one other disposition person.
I know, I met them. They're very lovely.
Yeah, They are awesome. Yeah. I couldn't do this without them, honestly.
So the KeyGlee model is all focused on disposition. Mm-hmm. So do you guys even use DealMachine for anything at all?
So I don't personally, well, we do use it from time to time. Like if we're out viewing properties that we're going to sell to our buyers that we're going to buy for ourselves.
Yeah.
We'll actually pass houses, and I've got the app, so I'll still pin houses here from time to time. But now it's teaching other like wholesalers how to get started, brand new wholesalers. Mm-hmm. Hey man, if you see a house that doesn't look great, there's this app. There's a DealMachine app. It's so easy. You just pin a house.
Yeah.
And it's also inexpensive to find deals that way. So pin it, give them a call, and go from there. But yeah, we do use it still from time to time, but it's mainly to show other people how to use it.
Got it. And if they then figure out how to find deals, they can use you as a buyer, which is a problem that a lot of new wholesalers worry about when they find a deal. How do they know if it's a good deal, and where do they sell it? So if there's any new wholesalers listening, you can use Phillip as your buyer. Mm-hmm. Does it now just have to be in those two regions?
We can do nationwide. So I've got connections nationwide, but my main market would be Austin, San Antonio. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we've got buyers nationwide, and I know that's one of the scariest parts when it becomes, or whenever you're starting. Hey, I've got a deal, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to sell this, or I don't know what I'm doing after I find a deal. Mm-hmm. So having my team, we are your buyers. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about the numbers. You can even just call us and we can tell you if it's gonna work or not.
Yep. Yeah. So let's talk about the team that you mentioned. So I met him at lunch for the first time. Paola, did I say her name right?
Paola. I don't know if I said it correctly, but Paola.
And then Jess and Nick.
Yep.
So you've got two focus on acquisitions and one focus on dispositions. And I'm curious, where do you go from here now that you've got a team and you're doing enough deals to obviously support all of those people? Where do you want to go from here next?
So we do want to still hire a bit. We want to do more deals. Mm-hmm. We're doing, like I said, an average about 5 a month. Mm-hmm. But we definitely want to get to 10, 20 deals a month, or even like our KeyGlee corporate office, they're doing 80 or 100 deals a month nationwide. So I'd love to build a bigger team to where we can have a lot more deals coming in.
Yeah.
And just have me hands off too, 100% hands off. Just build a team, managers, everybody that can help as many wholesalers as we can.
Love it.
So we're going to go.
You mentioned to me before that you used the KeyGlee corporate office as something that you'd like to achieve. Was that the one here in Austin that you said has about 15 team members? Or is that the one in Phoenix?
Yeah. They're in Tempe is their new office, but they've got I want to say they have 15 or 20 people just for AC, 15 or 20 people just for Dispo, and they're bringing in 80 to 100 deals a month.
Love it.
It's just crazy.
That's a lot of deals.
Yeah.
So how do you know which person you would need to hire next? You've got 2 acquisitions, 1 Dispo, and you feel like maybe they're kind of at capacity now is what it seemed like, right?
Yeah. So we have a huge buyers list. That's what we specialize in, the buyers. We are your buyers. So we need to do more outreach to our buyers to find out what they're looking for. Especially in this market has changed a bit. It's good to talk to your buyers, build that relationship. That's what the business is all about relationships. So Dispositions is going to be our next hire. I want to get two more Dispo people in there so we can really reach all the buyers and be the guy that's always going to move every deal,
Yeah.
So Disposition is going to be the next one.
Do you do more deals than people can handle and then hire, or do you hire first, raise your expenses up, and then try to build in more deals to pay for it?
I think you want to get too busy to where you can't handle it before you hire. I know a lot of people try to hire too many people at first, and then you have nothing for them to do, or you can't provide for them.
Right. It's very sexy to be hiring and have a larger team.
Exactly. No. Yeah. You want to get too busy where you can't handle it, where you're actually missing deals or things like that. That's when you know it's the right time to hire.
Got it.
Sure.
And what qualities do you look for when you're hiring that next dispositions person?
Yeah. So you've got to have somebody that's got some hustle in them.
Yep.
It can be a grind sometimes getting out there. It's not just overnight type of stuff. So they've got to have hustle. They've got to be able to build a relationship with another person. They've got to care for other people. That's what we do with our buyers. We want to care about our buyers because we're out there looking for deals for them. So Yeah, they got to be able to do that. And then we're really going to focus on, there's questions that we go off of that'll help us determine the right kind of person also that we follow. You know, Tony Robbins uses it to tell what certain personalities people have, and there's certain personalities that a disposition person would have, or like an acquisition person would have. So we're going to start using that DISC profile. That
can be tricky to find out, but I love this example you shared with me about your current dispo person, right, Paula? You said that you met her.
Oh man,
she wanted to help you out. You said not until you get your license, and then she got the license right away.
Yeah, it was.
And
crazy.
That was, you're like, oh, she's got it. She's got the stuff, right? She's hustling and she's really serious about this.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, she came in for the interview.
Yeah.
She said, like, you know, when do we get started? And I said, well, you got to get your license to work with us. I think you'd be a good fit, but you got to get your license. So, and then we can go from there. So she left, let her down the elevator. And then she probably calls me about a week and a half later. She's like, hey, Phillip, can I come by the office and, you know, maybe just see what you're doing, how the systems work. I was like, well, I need you to get your class and stuff taken care of first before we really go that far. And she goes, oh, I'm already done with that. I'm about to take my test here in like a day. And I'm like, what? My business partner took like a month and a half, 2 months to get his license and all that stuff. So she had it done in a week. And I was like, she is serious about this. So yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, you've heard of a go-giver. She's a go-getter.
She is.
She got it.
She is.
Yeah. She's getting it right now in the phone booth.
We've got 4 deals we're trying to move right now.
She's handling deals, and you're doing this in here.
Yes.
How do you feel about that? Are you like, oh, I'm not involved and worried, or is this how it normally rolls for you guys?
I like to be hands-on. Like I am about the hustle. I like to help other people a lot too. So it can be at times a little tough to step back.
Yep.
But I have a great team. My people are out there looking for what they need to be looking for, doing what they need to do. I think we trade them pretty well. And then with the disposition, Paula, yeah, I have no doubt about her. Yeah. Yeah.
So you also told me that she's not a standard dispositions team member because she also partners with you, it sounds like, on flips, right?
Yeah, we're actually business partners for a flipping business. We're in masterminds together. She's actually spent money to invest in herself also. She spent $24,000 to get in a mastermind that we're in.
Wow.
Now, so she is a really she's a person that wants to grow for sure. Yeah, we had a deal that came into the KeyGlee office. I thought it was a great deal. Other people in the office were like, maybe we should just wholesale it, but I thought there's way too much money here. We need to flip it. Nobody wanted to flip it with me. She wanted to do it. Sat her down, wrote down the numbers, showed her, worst case scenario, what we'd make on it. We thought we'd maybe make $50,000, $60,000 on it. And took us about 3 months. And the market helped us a little bit.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot of it.
Market appreciated while you were working on it.
Yes. Our contract actually took about 2 weeks too long.
Wow. Okay.
Which benefited us because a new comp because a new comp came out during that time.
Oh wow. Yeah, new comp.
We went from maybe thinking we were going to make $50,000 or $60,000 on it. We made $280,000 on our first flip.
That's amazing.
It was just
4x what you were expecting, 5x.
Yeah.
That's
this
amazing.
was profit. That was profit.
Yeah.
Like the HUD said 310,000, but
Ringing
I know,
bell.
right? Huge bell. Yes.
Yeah. Good job.
So yeah, ever since then we've been also flipping together. So yeah, we've got a flipping business. We're looking to do Airbnb type stuff too. We've got 2 other flips going on that we're trying to finish up. And then we have 1 sitting on the market right now that we're hoping to get sold here pretty quickly.
I was going to ask you why you do wholesaling as well as flipping. And I think that partially answers the question when you mention a big profit like $280,000.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to have different, different buckets or different avenues whenever you're investing like in real estate, you know? So seller finance, flipping, wholesaling. Yeah. You want to be able to make money wherever you can, right?
Yeah.
Not just one spot.
Got it.
For sure.
So let's bring it full circle. If there's anyone here that's just listening and they're trying to get into wholesaling, I think you're the perfect person for them to be listening to. One, not only because you can be their buyer, But even if they don't ever do anything with you, your whole livelihood on the KeyGlee side depends on nurturing relationships with new wholesalers and mentoring them so that they can find the deals, so that they can bring you the deals and you can be their buyer. And so I would love for you to give 3 tips for anyone who's just getting into wholesaling that are really important tips for them that they should write down. And these are going to be great tips, I know, because your whole livelihood depends on how you mentor new people. So what are the 3 things that a new wholesaler should do and remember?
For sure. Yeah. The number one thing I think is getting around the right people. You have to be around people that are doing what you want to do, and you're actually seeing it be done.
Yeah.
Because you can't believe it if you don't see it, right? You
Right.
have to see it. So you got to be around the right people for sure.
Yep.
You have to invest in yourself.
Yep.
That's a huge thing for me.
Uh-huh.
If I didn't invest the $5,000 to get the right mentor, I wouldn't be where I'm at in just a short amount of time too. And the third thing is, you can't quit. It's going to be hard from the beginning for sure. And it's going to be scary, but you can't quit. Like if you surround yourself around the right people, you invest in yourself.
Yep.
It's going to be impossible to fail. You just can't quit.
Right. The business model's been proven out.
Yeah,
There's thousands of people doing it.
exactly.
So get around the right people, and that could be really practical, like go make some friends, go to some meetups, right?
Yeah.
And you said invest in yourself. So that could be get around people who are successful, not just people who are also trying, but somebody who's a little bit ahead of you.
For sure.
And don't be afraid to pay for that. And then 3 is don't give up, because you know it's proven. You just need to have the discipline and follow the instructions, and you'll be successful as well.
For sure.
Those are great tips.
Thanks.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, it was so funny whenever we were sitting down to record this that you were like, hey, I've got to go to the bathroom even though we just went. I totally understood that. And I found out you're doing 75 hard, which for those of you who don't know, you have to drink a gallon of water. Yeah. And that's a lot of water. You do have to get up and go to the bathroom quite a bit.
Yes.
That may be a downside, but I also did it for 90 days.
Oh, wow.
And I hear that you're on your last day, right? You're on day 74.
Today's 74. Tomorrow will be the last day. 12 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, we'll be done.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I did want to talk to you about that. It's been so impactful for me. The whole thing is that it develops really good habits for you afterwards. And I actually never completed it.
Oh, man.
I was very strict with myself, and you have to start over if you forget to take a progress picture every day. That's like one of the things you have to do. And so, but the habits that I've gotten into, though, is I do 2 workouts every weekday, like without fail. And I just do 1 on the weekends now. But it's totally transformed my life and my discipline that I have. So what's been some big takeaways for you from doing it?
Yeah, so I've learned that it's not really like a diet thing. Like a lot of people think that it's 75 hard, I've got to stick to this strict diet and that's all I'm going to get out of it. Mm-hmm. It's a huge mental thing. Like you said, even just remembering just to take the progress pic, or late at night when I haven't reached my diet goal, like mine was all about protein. I had to make sure I reached the right amount of protein. There's been just 2 nights ago, it's like, I'm going to fail this 75 hard because I didn't finish my like protein goal. Mm-hmm. I had to eat like 80 grams of protein before I went to bed.
Yeah, it's like 4 scoops. It's a lot of protein.
Well, I did a shake. I did a protein bar. I did a yogurt. Like it was all, it was a lot of stuff. So, but it's all mental too. So I could have easily just been like, oh, I'm not going to do the second workout tonight because I'm just so tired. I've had a long day. Mm-hmm. But you do it. Like you tell yourself, like, I'm not going to have that. What he says in his book, he calls it I don't know if I'm allowed to say this.
The bitch voice.
The bitch voice. Yes, I wasn't sure if I was allowed to say that. He says, get rid of that bitch voice. Like, it's just little things. Like, you make your life, everybody makes their life so easy. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's all mental is what I got from this for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed it, and I've taken it to the next level where I did get more strict with my diet now. And I've never been able to get above 200 pounds. I've always been a pretty thin guy, and I couldn't lift weights and grow, and I really wanted to. But I was so dedicated that I was eating 4,000 calories per day of chicken, rice, and vegetables. So that is a lot of food. And then like 4 protein shakes to get it all the way over to the top of 4,000. So I did gain weight. I got up to 206, and I got stronger. And then now I've cut down 20 pounds. So I'm like 181 this morning. So, but it's been amazing because now I actually feel in control. Where before I thought I did a good job eating, but then now I'm following such a strict diet. I actually bring my meals with me on an airplane in Ziploc bags, like frozen. And then by the time you get there, they're thawed out and you can put them in the fridge. But yeah, being so disciplined has allowed me to actually tweak what was going on and actually understand what I was and wasn't eating and what I thought I was doing a good job with. So that isn't what it's about, but the general aspect of the discipline is what it's about. So
and that's a lot of discipline.
It's been really fun for me to like experience that new level of control over my life and what's happening. That, and I haven't drank since March, and it's now October.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm not doing the 75 hard anymore, but I just never started drinking again.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I haven't had
Are you like
alcohol,
excited
obviously.
to have a drink?
I'm not. I don't think I'm as excited as like everybody would be. Hey, I haven't drank for this long. I'm going to go drink a bunch. But I do want to have a drink and relax a little bit. But there was one time when I was traveling and I was out with a group of people. Everybody's drinking in this bar and everything. I'm just having water.
Yeah.
And I wasn't like, oh, this sucks. It was just like, I'm actually happy. Like just having water, not being buzzed or not fully there. Like I was happy. So yes, I want to drink, but it's not because I'm like, oh, I'm dying for it. It's just, I just want to have one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just crazy. It changes you mentally completely.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what you choose to do. No pressure after you're done with the 75 hard, and if that still sticks with you and in what aspects maybe aren't as important. Like for me, taking a progress picture every day, it was so annoying. And I do it once a week when I check in with my nutritionist who does figure and tweak my diet week to week.
Oh, nice.
And I'm not moving fast enough to notice changes, every day. Those weekly ones are good enough for me.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Well, Phillip, thank you so much for being on the video podcast, the DealMachine Thought Leader Spotlight Series. Let's give it up for Phillip, everybody. And if you guys want to connect with Phillip, if you've got a deal, you can find him on Instagram. What's your Instagram that they should check out?
KeyGlee CTX, KeyGlee CTX.
Yep, just like on the hat. Well,
Yes.
Thanks again. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, man.